You know, Miss, what the best part is, and since we've started this, by the way, since we started this aftermath, zero Premier League wins, I guess. I hope it's not a jinx, it's not a jinx or a curse, but yeah, man, it hasn't been a good start since we got this show started. But yeah, look, I acknowledge each and every person's frustration out there in the live chat and also in the Chelsea fraternity. Yeah, anybody who comes out and says that it's Maresca fault, I agree, and I have points to back that. Right? Anybody coming out and saying that it's the player's fault, I agree, and I have points to back that too. Right? Anybody coming out and saying, "Oh no, it's this the people up top in the management or the sporting directors or the owners' fault," that too I agree, and I have points to back that too. And this is the situation we are currently, right? Because you cannot have a point of view where a single entity is going wrong and this is why this results or the chain of
Mm.
result that we are facing, right? It is the collective failure of each and every department of this entire ecosystem that we
Good
have,
talk.
right?
Good talk. Good talk.
Yeah, so let's start with the where do you want to start? What do you want to talk about? Just like Cody Rhodes says,
What?
let's start from up
What do you
top.
want to
Let's
talk
go.
about? What do you
What do
want
you
to
want to
talk
talk
about,
about?
bro?
Up to down. Let's go up to down
Bro,
approach. Yeah.
you run with it, bro. You run with it. Run with it.
All right, let's go up to the bottom, but not bottoms up approach, up to bottom approach, right? Let's talk about the owners first. Look, Miz, we know there are problems with the owners. People are not happy with the decisions that these owners have made, and not just for the past 1 year, but since they've taken over, right? There are some things that they have done good. There are some things they're not done good at all, and things are to be things were a bit topsy-turvy when people started protesting and all in the middle, and then somehow down the line they again try to gain the confidence of the public. But we know that the people, the way they are running with this football club, the model that they are approaching with, it's not the kind of model that we like to see our football club run, right? So that's one thing. But the question here is, this section, yeah, is the most difficult part to talk about because it's the most difficult part to change, right? It's not going to change by virtue of us speaking or people running down the streets, 500 people, 1,000 people. It's the most difficult part to change, right? I agree there are flaws there and they've committed mistakes, but to change them is the most difficult part. Hence, talking about them and giving them time for most of the part of our show, or probably in any show that we go, is going to be somewhat meaningless at this point of time, at least. Because why? There are other areas as well who are doing their due mistakes, right? Let's go back down to the hierarchy and talk about the sporting directors. Absolute shit show of a transfer season. That's what I would say. Why? Look at where we are. And Miz, my take on the centre backs and the way we failed to sign centre backs for not just 1 year, but 2, 3, 4, 5 transfer seasons right now. Since we lost Thiago Silva, and then when he went away, and probably Rudiger as well, we had no centre back replacements. Look where we are now. Look where we are now. I'm just saying. You guys can go back to the shows that we've done back in the days. This is where I pointed out, and it's still today. It's so valid. It's my statements on centre back has aged like a fine wine, and it still stands today. Until we don't sign an experienced centre back and then build a spine right through the defense, I don't think so. I don't think so. We're gonna go do good there. So this is about the sporting director. This is not just the centre back point. We failed with the Maignan deal. We failed with the Xavi Simons deal, and we can go on and on about it. We very well knew the fact that we should have had another striker in the team, right? Look at where we are in the striker situation as well. Things are looking bad, and they have failed miserably, right? Let's come down to Maresca now, right? I acknowledge the fact that probably he's not very happy with the squad that he has, at least from his perspective, that the bench strength should have quality. This is what I'm getting from, right? Because the transfer market hasn't been 100% acknowledged. We don't have a world-class keeper, acknowledged. Centre back, we're missing couple of players minimum, acknowledged. Attackers, we've fumbled a lot. Xavi Simons couldn't happen. We couldn't get another striker, acknowledged. He doesn't have a full-fledged bench strength to go into a season with a UCL, acknowledged. Maybe I can understand that part. But with whatever you have in this as a resource, you are bound to utilize that now, since things are getting scarce now, right? Things are getting in a crucial stage. You are bound to use those resources, whatever you have in your hand. And if you're not doing that,
we don't have the transfer window open. The transfer window is not open,
right? right? And whatever we have, I acknowledge that you don't have the optimal quality, but at least you have the quantity. Why not go out and try to use that, right? And if you don't use that and then try to make stupid decisions after stupid decisions, game in, game out, game in, game out, and it becomes a pattern where every manager coming out exposes you brutally, that's a problem. And that's on you, Mr. Maresca, making the squad look weak. Let's come down and talk about the players. It seems like everybody's playing in some school football competition. What is happening, man? Red cards after red cards. What is happening, man? We'd get more lesser red cards when we used to play back in the school, and we used to kick left, right, and center, right? What is happening? None of the players are taking their responsibility. It feels like the players are, just hovering around here and there, running like headless chickens with no maturity. Second half, absolute BS. The last match, and not just the last match, look at the chain of 3, 4, 5, 6 matches. It has been the most immature performance from the most mature players in the squad. That is where my problem is. Look at Enzo Fernandez. Last match he's got a goal, but overall look at the change of performance he's given. It's been totally outclassed by the opposition, right? Look at someone like the center back pairing, Chaloba, that we started believing in him and that he's been good. Look at his downfall. Tosin, now he's injured, but look at his downfall as well. Reece James, there are flaws, right? Joao Pedro, we thought that he could be the he could outshine everybody and start performing. He's looking lackluster. Maybe it's not just on him. Of course, Maresca's decision also helps in the downfall, but then the individual performance is also going down. So, Miz, every section, every area has to be blamed for. And I'm sorry, if you ask me how do we improve, that's of course a later part of the question for the show. But we are going on a huge turmoil and a huge downfall. I don't know how we get this fixed, man.
Ishan, you are on fire, brother. You are on fire. You're spot on. That's how I see it as well. That it's a collective F up, an absolute collective F up.